Hey there guys, I'm Tory Favro. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe, thumbs up, hit the notification bell, please. I do reviews and they are my opinion and that's what matters. Today we're going to be reviewing the latest release by such an extremely talented author, Joe Hill, and the book is called King Sorrow. This has been out for a little while now. I finished it a couple of months ago, and I thought it was time now that I'm doing the channel to talk about what I consider this to be a masterpiece. So time to talk about the masterpiece. It does weigh in. It's a hefty old book. Weighing in, let's have a quick look, at least this version, the paperback. Fun fact, over here in Australia, we don't seem to get many hardcover books. 870 odd pages, and I didn't regret a single second of it. So King Sorrow is a mixture of, for me, of modern day horror and fantasy woven together by who I consider to be a master storyteller. Joe Hill's written many books and short story collections. He's also dabbled in some comic book series called Hill House for DC Comics. I do have those and I will talk about them in a later review. For now, we're going to delve into this. So we have got a group of friends who have been friends forever. As younger people, I think it's either in college or in high school. A young man by the name of Arthur Oakes. He's a student, he's at college, and he gets blackmailed by a group of basically redneck criminals in the local area. His mother is in jail for manslaughter, and their mother is also in jail, and he gets threatened that if he doesn't pay a blackmail or steal things for them, then the mother's going to be killed. So the group of friends get together, they are made aware of the problem, and they summon a dragon. There's a lot more to it than that, obviously. There's a lot of occult in this, which is utterly fascinating. There's an example in this book of an occult experiment that they research before they do this and summon King Sorrow the dragon. And I wish that was a book. It's so funny. It's sort of like in Stephen King's Billy Summer, where he's an assassin pretending to be an author and he writes accounts of his time over in the Middle East. I want to read that book, that fake book I want to read. So once again, Joe Hill has made me want to find out about something that doesn't even exist except for in the pages of this book. And that's quite an incredible thing, in my opinion. It'd be interesting to know if there is fan fiction out there, having been written by people who wondered the same thing. I don't want to spoil that for you. In any case, the friends summon the dragon. The dragon comes from the dark, and they sick it upon the rednecks in town who basically are threatening Arthur's mum, but with disastrous results. The dragon tricks them, and dragons in this are tricksters, riddlers, and utterly ferocious. King Sorrow torments. Like a cat with a mouse batting it about with its claws, King Sorrow torments until he kills. But there is a proviso in the wording of how he makes the agreement with them that they never anticipate. And essentially, the group of friends have to provide King Sorrow with someone new to kill every year, or he will take one of them and work his way through the friend group. And more than anything, King Sorrow wants to kill the friend group. Years pass, they have been selecting names, and all of a sudden something happens where the government becomes aware that people are dying, and they're aware of King Sorrow, and they become aware of our friends, who by this stage the friendship has shattered. I won't tell you why, but there is a series of misdeeds and misadventures that loop around. There is vengeance, extreme anger, people who are out to get their pound of flesh, and they manage to, all the while King Sorrow dances and cavorts behind the suffering of it all. When I first started reading this, I wasn't put off by the book length. I alternated between reading this physical copy, which is battered now. And also when I was on flights, I purchased a digital copy. And so I bought 2 copies of this book that I could just keep reading it. The way that Joe Hill writes, I don't like to say this like this, but I guess it's not an insult. So in case you are new to this game, or you're not aware of the background of some people, Joe Hill is actually Stephen King's son. And the only reason I do bring that up is he writes very similarly to Stephen King, I think, in any case. He has his own beautiful, unique style, but his dialogue and character building and world building certainly leaves us, for those of us who may be thinking, Mr. King's getting a little bit older, who's going to fill his boots? Joe Hill has admirably, goodness me, get my words right, Tory, admirably stepped into those huge boots. So yeah, his real name is Joe Hillstrom King. So yeah, just Joe Hill. If you haven't picked up any of his other titles, you may have seen one of a movie that was made, actually 2 movies that were made based on his creative properties. One was Horns, which is such an amazingly good book, but the movie stars Daniel Radcliffe and thoroughly enjoyable. I'm not going to wreck it. I will review the book at some stage. And the other one was Black Phone. Now, that was a short story. I've actually got it up in the bookcase somewhere here up the top. I'll show you another time. It's actually, I think, about a 30-page short story, but they made an amazing movie out of it with Ethan Hawke as the antagonist. So Joe Hill puts together an amazing story. This is, in my opinion, a must-read book. Yeah, it's a big book, and I know that nowadays sometimes attention spans are shorter. Trust me, the way he has broken this up into its chapter breaks, it's palatable, even at that nearly 900-page book count, but you won't regret a single second that you read this book by the time you get to the end. So high recommendation there. Once again, I'm absolutely going to give this a high score. I'd give it 4.5 out of 5, and I do suggest you pick it up at your local bookshop or wherever it is that you get your books from. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.